But I think this begs the question, Brett, when you're replacing a guy like Justin Fields, who's had the level of success that he had the last 2 years, who is clearly one of the most talented quarterbacks in the country over the last decade. You know, I don't know if he was the most talented, but man, he is absolutely in the conversation as one of the most talented guys nationally. Is it fair to measure a guy who hasn't seen the field yet against his predecessor like that? Because I think a lot of fans are probably naturally going to do that.
No, it's not fair, but welcome to Ohio State. That's what we do anyway. And that's part of the deal, right? I think that's when you sign up to play at Ohio State, that's something that I think you sign up for. And I think in a lot of ways, coaches have made that kind of that part of the expectation process and something that these guys are aware of, even before they step foot on campus. It's not fair for sure. And I think too, it we'll see this as kind of as kind of the season goes along, but it's also not a fair comparison because of some of the football stuff specific in that what Ohio State asked of Justin Fields will not be the same as what they're asking of CJ. And so that is that's a huge factor in my mind as kind of what responsibilities these guys had. By towards the end of that time, Justin Fields was responsible for about as much as a quarterback can be. I'm very confident in saying CJ isn't going to be even close to that percentage. And so that is, it's not a like for like comparison, but it's something that we'll do anyway. I do think that you are always going to be measured by Ohio State quarterbacks will always be measured by comfortable wins and then turnovers in crucial moments. And
do you beat Michigan?
Right. And that is something that CJ Stroud doesn't get the benefit of with a couple kind of warm up games where he'll play 2 halves and then it'll be 43-0 and then the game goes on from there with backups. That's not going to happen. He's probably playing the whole game against Minnesota unless something crazy happens like they stink and we didn't know that. So it's kind of a hit the ground at a full sprint a little bit. And I think because that's what he's facing, he's going to be responsible for a little bit less. I think a lot of the schematics will be easier for him. I think that was something that really stood out to me early on in Dwayne Haskins' Ohio State career. Was really worked hard to get him very easy completions, making sure that they were really able to pre-snap eliminate kind of one side of the field. And so he only had to work off of that one shoulder, that first, maybe second read. And then as he grew in confidence, the playbook got a little bit bigger and a little bit more open. And then all of a sudden he was calling protections. And then by the end, he had basically full pre-snap play calling duties and then was able to kind of change plays from there. And so I think that'll be a little bit of the case with Stroud this year, in that he'll essentially have to kind of, he has like 3 tasks, and once he passes those, then there'll be 6, and then once you get to 6, you go to beyond that. And so it'll be spoon fed a little bit, I think, early on. The issue is, and I think the concern for these guys is that it's not a cupcake opponent.